How do I restore trust with the team that I manage and build back a positive team culture? For context, we've gone through some recent turnover of high level positions, and the landscape of our work is changing, so it's been hard. I feel like my team does not have faith in me as a leader, and morale is low. Personally, I'm struggling with constant negative feedback, being expected to have every answer, and also be the cheerleader. What are some steps I can take to rebuild positive team culture and have my personal boundaries respected at the same time?
I would encourage having a team alignment session. So when teams become misaligned, it gets really, really chaotic. Even if they're slightly misaligned, because like even slight, like kind of like imagine just like a grain of sand in your eye, like how uncomfortable that is and just like how much it bothers you. But realistically, it's this teeny little thing, but it's affecting the whole thing. It can affect both your eyes. You can't stop thinking about it. That's what misalignment is like. So have a team alignment session. This is what I mean by that. For a team to be aligned, there needs to be four things in place. You need to have a working alliance, a mission, a 2-year vision, and a 4-year vision. And all of those things, like a leader being expected to like answer, you've got to have all the answers, and you have to cheerlead us, and you have to have the hard conversations and do it just the right way. Like all of these like really heightened expectations of a leader, they're too much. They're unrealistic. And not only does it make people not trust their leader, it makes the leader not trust themselves and also trust the team. Got to get back into alignment. So this is what a working alignment is. A social contract is an unspoken set of agreements that people have. So, for example, if I invite someone over to my house, I don't stop people at the door before they come in and say, hey, before you enter my house, you've got to agree to not spit on my floor and like kick my dog. I just assume people aren't going to do that. That's a social contract. Social contracts hold up a lot of really, really good things in society, but it can also hold up really negative things like racism, sexism, ableism, like why one person on a team can say some like totally insane thing, like totally uncomfortable, really weird thing, or make types of jokes, while other people would never think about doing that. Social contracts have a lot of really good stuff, but they also hold up a lot of negative stuff and also like weird expectations of leaders, like all the things that were in that question. Instead of a social contract, we should have a working alliance. A working alliance is not a set of rules. A working alliance is one sentence, 22 words or less about how we agree to work together. And I'll get into how you do that in a little bit. A working alliance should also not be vague and like marquee words like transparent, ethical. Like, yeah, those are cool words. I think we all want to work on a team that's transparent and ethical, but what does it actually mean? What does it mean in practical terms? So it is a clear agreement of how we are going to work together that everyone on the team is involved in crafting. The second thing is you got to have a mission. There's a difference on a team's function, so what a team does, and a team mission. I want you to think of a lawnmower. The most basic function of a lawnmower is to cut the grass. If it doesn't cut the grass, it's effectively not a lawnmower. It's just something you have. The most basic function of a lawnmower is to cut the grass. But there are a lot of different kinds of lawnmowers. So some people might want to have a hand push lawnmower. But if they have a hand push lawnmower, they have it for specific reasons. There's a purpose of why they have that. Some people have these like, like super like luxury, like really nice, like high tech, like riding lawnmowers that like do all the stuff. They collect the grass, they mulch the grass, all of that. Well, there's a reason they have that. If we can agree the most basic function of a lawnmower is to cut the grass, then that's the function. But the purpose of why a certain lawnmower at a certain time has a lot to do with the person and their lawn, like how they interact with their lawn. So what's the mission of a team? If the basic function of your team, whatever the basic function is like, this is the basic function, like this is cutting the grass for our team. These are the things that we do. Then why this group of people at this time? What is the thing that you're trying to accomplish together? So what's the purpose behind your team? The purpose behind a team usually switches every 3 to 5 years. And so if you're to say like, why this team now? That's the question you should be answering. And a mission should be something that you can track your progress in so that at some point you say mission accomplished. And that means the team either goes on to its next mission or it kind of changes the pieces of the puzzle. So like who's on the team and why they're on the team. So again, thinking of a lawnmower perspective, it's like, maybe I got a bigger lawn or a smaller lawn. Maybe I want more exercise. Maybe I want to be outside less, whatever it is. How do you formulate the team? So you got to figure out what your mission is. The 2 and 4 year vision, this is the what you're trying to accomplish. And the 2 year vision is based on what your mission is. Like, so if we think that's our mission, what do we need to get accomplished within the next 2 years? And then the 4 year vision is aspirational. If we're successful with the 2 year vision, what becomes possible that's not possible today? Alignment sessions are long. They're a full day session. And I encourage people to split people up into groups. And so you should always have 3 different flip charts going at any given time. And you should get through each one of those things through an iterative process. Each one of them, the working alliance, the mission, the 2 year vision, the 4 year vision, they're each 22 words or less. And it requires an iterative process. So one team comes up with like, here's our idea of the mission. The next team comes up with what their idea of the mission is. The next team comes up with what their idea of the mission is. You take that, you put it up on the wall, you switch spaces, and then each team looks at each other's mission, and then they create a better version and a better version of it, and you distill it down. It's a full day process, but by the end of it, you will have had the conversations you need to have, like real open, honest conversations, like, well, how do we agree to work together? You will have understand the mission, like, well, what is our function? But actually, why us? What are we trying to accomplish? Why have we been brought together? You'll understand the 2 year vision. Okay, what is it that we need to do in the next 2 years? And you'll understand what's possible in the future. I've taken a very complex topic and split it down to just like, I think around 4 minutes of dialogue. If you have questions about it, look up on our website, Leading with Purpose. And if you have more questions about it, how to actually do this on a deeper level, just hit us up and we can help out.